Okay, even though I've done 2 videos on Ortho4xp, some guys have still got some problems with it, trying to get confused, and one of the confusions is the overlays button, build overlays. So I'm going to try and go through this again real quick and simple. You open up your Ortho4xp folder. You go to bin. You click on Ortho4xp exe files. Start it up. Starts up. This page will come up. Now this is all you have to do on the page. What I do first is where it says do nothing here. On completion, do nothing. I go exit program. On completion, exit program. That way you know it's finished. Because once the tile is built and everything is done, it will shut down this program. Then you go to your Ortho4xp folder and get your tiles. That way you know it's done. You won't interrupt it. Here's your tile size. Tile 16 is 2 gig. That's a common tile size. The other one is 17, which is for your, you go 17 for, I don't know why that's not changing. Why am I not clicking on it properly here? There's 17. That's 8 gig a tile. And I'll go back to 16. Now the first thing you do in here, after you go exit program on completion, building overlays. This is where the confusion lies. Put a check mark in custom overlay, and then you go into your X-Plane 11. Here's mine, X-Plane 11 in Steam, global scenery, global X-Plane 11 global scenery. You click that, and it goes down here. Do not touch this. When you select this, it will go in this space right here. This button, the one fella having trouble said he clicked the build overlay button and nothing happened. I don't know what it's supposed to do. Whether it's supposed to fix default or fix corrupted overlays that you have. But at no time when you're building your tiles and your overlays do you touch this button. There is no reason to touch this button. All it's going to do is make it more confusing for you. I don't even know why that button is there. You don't touch it at the beginning. You don't touch it at the end. Leave it alone. Don't go near it. So we got this page set up. The only other thing is use mask for inland. If you build a tile that is near water, I'll start the map and show you what I mean. Let's build a tile right down here where it's covering the water. Left shift. Click the left mouse button. There's a tile. See all the water that's in the tile? That is why. Let me find that other one. On this page, you put a check mark in that. Use mask for inland. If you make a tile that's got a lot of water, like this one, if you don't have a check mark in that box, you'll get a bunch of white squares on the water. That's what that causes. Alright, so we've got in here Steam apps, common. We've got our stuff in here. Don't touch this button. Now you go to your map and you put a check mark in build mass, and see this other box right here? Build overlays. That's what builds the overlays. I don't know what that other button is for, but this fella clicked on it and all he had was problems. Don't click it. Not now, not ever. Now all you do is you click batch build. And if you go back to this page, you'll see that it is starting to build that tile. Now it's going to take 20 minutes to make that tile, so I won't go through the whole motion of it. I'll just let it go for a couple of minutes to get some data going, and I'll show you what you got to do. So it's moving along, it's building this tile. We'll let it run for a minute or two here to get going. And I should say while you're at it, when you're on here, you can select more than one tile. You can make 5 or 6 tiles at a time when you click the batch build. The only thing is it's 20 minutes a tile. 4 tiles. It's going to take you an hour and a half, right? So Just waiting for this thing to get going here. I don't know why my computer's so slow tonight, but it is. But normally on 16 level it takes about 20 minutes. And these bars are status bars. They'll fill up as the thing's going along. And that's what I like on completion, because if you don't have exit program in here and you just do nothing, this thing will just stay open, and you won't really know unless you know what you're looking at whether the tile's done. And you don't want to interrupt it early, because if you interrupt it early, then what you're going to have is corruption, because part of the data is going to be missing. But this way, once the tile is completely made, it will shut down. The other thing is too, it's doing all the tile first. It'll go all the way down, dot, 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 with all the tile information. Then the very last thing it does is it creates the overlay. So that'll be the last thing it does. So we won't see an overlay folder because I'm going to shut it off before then. I'm going to take a look in that bin and see if it's got a tile being made yet. Yeah, okay, well, it's doing it. It's doing its thing. So we'll just go dumpity, 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 dumpity. 20 minutes has gone by. The tile's all made. Tile's made. This shuts down automatically. It disappears. Okay. It's gone. Shut down. Once it's shut down, I'm even going to make a... Let me see if I can go in here and show it to you. I'll go in my custom scenery because I have one in here. Custom scenery. Ortho overlay. Rename. Copy. Copy. Okay, I'm just doing this for demonstration purposes. I'll make a tile. And I'll rename it this. Paste. And I'll drag that over into the Ortho4xp. So once you've done all that stuff, alright? Everything is done. You open up your Ortho4xp thing, and you'll see in tiles, in your tile folder, that's the tile you just made, right? So then what you do is you open up your, I close it, I gotta open it again. You open up your X-Plane 11 custom scenery folder, like I'm doing. See how I'm doing? I'm just opening up my folder. Steam apps. Common. X-Plane 11. Custom scenery. Okay. So I'll back up again and show you. This is your Ortho4xp. Once you're done, there's your tile folder. You open up your tile folder, and if you made 3 or 4 tiles, there'd be like a list of them. 51004, 51005, 51006. And I'm not going to do it because that's a garbage folder, right? A garbage tile. I don't want it. So you just got to left click on it, hold the mouse button down, and drag it into your custom scenery folder. That's all you got to do. But I don't want it. It's garbage. So I'll get rid of it. So you've got your tile in your custom scenery folder. And delete that. And when you go back in your Ortho4 main folder, you'll also see it's created a folder called Ortho4xp overlays right there. See that? Now I already have an Ortho4xp overlay folder because of all the tiles I made. See, I've made a ton of them. These are all mine. So if you made tiles before, when you drag this, left click on the overlay, this folder will be created when it makes a tile. You just left click on it and drag it out of there into your custom scenery like I did, and you merge it with the one that's already in there. And you don't have to see, it's not there anymore, right? It's not in the Ortho4xp anymore. But you don't have to worry about doing that, because every time you make a new tile, it will make a new Ortho overlay folder. There'll be another folder in here called Ortho photos that are made to make the tile. Well, you can delete that out of here too. It's not in here, but you can delete that. Anyway, that's all you got to do. Whatever you do, under no circumstances click on that Build Overlays button on the main page. That's all you got to do. And that should work. And then when you go into your ini file, I can close my ortho folder. When you go into your ini file, here, those are all my airports. And it depends on where you put it, but I'll show you here. All you got to remember is there's all my ortho. And you just got to make sure. Here's my overlays. You just got to make sure that it is above your tiles. Here's your tiles. There's your overlays. And you might want to wonder, well, how do I move it? Well, hold down your left mouse button, drag across and highlight it, blue, right click on it. You can either cut it or copy it, but if you copy it, you got to delete this one. So I just cut it, which is like copy and paste. You cut it, and then right click on where you want it. If you want it here, or you want it here, wherever you want it. I'll put it back where it was. So I want it here. So right click on it there and paste. That's how you move it. So I've got it above all my ortho. And then when you close this, because I've changed the order these things are in, it's going to ask you if you want to save it. If you want to save the changes, yes you do. And it's back in my custom scenery. And that's all there is to it. It's very simple. People are trying to make it complicated, and it's not. I hope this helps.